welcome to this week's episode of the Igniting Your Health podcast. This week, I'm going to be talking about excuses, those common statements you may be telling yourself as to why you can't do something, why you can't get out for that walk, why you can't make the time in your day for your health, or why you can't lose the weight. Now, there is a difference between excuses and limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are those fears, doubts, and worries we place on ourselves that doesn't allow us to see our full potential. That the fear of failure, the fear of change, the overwhelm for all that needs to be done, the self-doubt, the comparison to others. I'm going to get more into those fears in next week's episode, so stay tuned for that. But for today, I'm focusing on the excuses you tell yourself as to why you can't do something. You may have heard me say this before, but I've worked in the healthcare field for over 20 years now. And I feel like I've heard every excuse in the book as to why my clients couldn't lose the weight or make the change to their health or to start exercising. And when I've worked with these clients directly and digging deeper into what's stopping them from being more active or making a health change or losing the weight, sometimes it was related to their mindset and building their confidence to get things done and achieve their goals. But for the most part, what I heard a lot of my clients tell me were excuses. And here are some examples. I don't have the time because I'm too busy doing all the things and helping everyone else. I don't have the time for exercise because I'm already moving a lot in my everyday life. I've tried it all before and it just doesn't work for me. And being healthy is too expensive. So today I want to address these common excuses, what triggers our minds into thinking that they're true, and how you can overcome them. Let's look at the first one. If you don't have the time in your day to make for your health because you're too busy helping and doing for everyone else, this was probably one of the top excuses I've heard over the years. And I've helped hundreds of women overcome their fears and facilitated their paths to live and become the healthiest versions of themselves. So recognizing and acknowledging that you're consistently telling yourself that you don't have the time for your health is the first step. Let's face it, there is always going to be something to do. Things to see, people to visit, or children to drive around. But what if you actually made time for yourself in your day? What would you do with your time? I mean, real time alone. Time that is only for you, and time where you don't need to think about anyone but yourself. This is a tricky one because when you do make time in your day away from your already planned chores, you more often than not find something else to do, and you're avoiding making time for yourself and not making yourself that priority. If you missed my episode called Investing in Your Health, I talk about how you can prioritize your day, so I'll share that link over in the description of this episode. But when you think about this excuse in particular, think of it from the opposite point of view. What would your health look like, and how would your body feel if you actually made time in your day to take care of your health? Being more active will give you more energy. Your heart will be healthier, your muscles will be stronger, you'll sleep better, and your mind will be sharper. I remember a time ago, about 6 years ago, when I started taking yoga classes. I had never really done yoga before, other than a prenatal yoga class. My husband had bought me the 1-month unlimited pass, a new pair of yoga pants, and I thought I was ready to go. Then the time came to go to class at 8 o'clock at night, and I was already feeling tired. All I could think about is staying home, going to bed early, and trying again tomorrow. But in the end, I was so happy my husband pushed me to go that night. I felt so good afterwards. Even though it wasn't hot yoga or a difficult class, I at least got my foot in the door. I took the first step to reclaiming my health. It wasn't easy to let go of everything that had to be done at home, including putting the girls to bed and tidying up the supper dishes and everything else that was on my mind. You have to give yourself permission to let go of those responsibilities to others and embrace the responsibility you have to yourself and your health. You have to give yourself permission to do something for yourself. Give yourself permission for a little me time. to get rid of the fear that holds you back, whether it be from what others will think of you for trying something new, to how silly you think you'll look in your yoga pants, or doing yoga for something because you've never done it before. You just can't be afraid to try. Any small block of time in your day is better than nothing. You could go out for coffee to a coffee shop by yourself. You could sign up for a class you've been thinking about trying. Open your calendar and make an appointment with yourself so you have to block time off in your day to do something for your health. The next excuse I often hear is, I'm already moving a lot during my day. That is my exercise. So it may be true that you're busy running around all day, but is all that moving productive for your health? Sometimes when we tell ourselves that we're too busy going from one chore, one task, or one place to another, we forget to look at whether this is good for our health. So I want you to take a look at your day, what you're doing, who you're doing all these tasks for, and is each and every task or chore for you or for other people? If you start to realize that maybe you're still spending the majority of your busy day doing for others, go back and try one of my suggestions from the excuse I just talked about. Here's another one. I've tried it all before and it didn't work. Exercise is just not meant for me. It only works for other people. I've heard this so many times. And if this is you, let me ask you, how long did you try doing the exercise routine? Were you consistent with the exercise routine? Or were you looking to achieve your goal in the quickest way possible and quit because it wasn't sustainable? To be successful in any of your health goals, you need to first and foremost be willing and ready to make the necessary changes in order to make it happen, no matter how long it's going to take you to get there. I know you're very able to make the changes you need to, but if you're not making the changes for the right reasons or doing an exercise that's not suitable for your lifestyle and your body, then the healthy changes that are not going to be sustainable. There are going to be times when you'll get frustrated with the process, you're not going to see progress, and you're going to fall off track. But you just have to keep going. You have to trust that process. You have to take small, actionable steps, no matter how small those steps may be or seem. But if you keep going with one small, actionable step at a time, then over time, you'll see progress. You'll feel yourself changing for the good. You're going to be more confident in those changes you're making. When you start looking at what other people are doing and achieving, then you're going to be discouraged. Just because they're at a point in their health, maybe at a point where you want to be, that doesn't mean you can't achieve your goal or get to where you want to be. But they may have been starting on that journey a year ago. They may have started their journey 5 years ago. You may be just starting out and you're not being consistent. One thing I want you to remember, you're chapter 1, so your starting point right now should not be compared to someone else's chapter 20, someone that's gone through it all before, who's done the same struggles that may have started that 1 year, 2 year, 5 years ago. Nothing and no one is going to be perfect, but as long as you keep going, doing the best that you can do, doing one small step at a time that will help you get you to where you need to be and want to be, then you will eventually get there. Do one thing every day that keeps your goal in mind. Consistency is going to be the key factor, because if you don't give it your all, you're only dabbling and you're not going to see results that way. The last excuse I want to talk about is that being healthy and exercising is too expensive. There are so many ways to make healthy habits, including exercise, on little to no money required. There are so many ways to include activity into your daily routine without having to buy the gym membership that you'll probably not use as much as you want, or to buy an expensive exercise equipment. You don't have to feel intimidated to wear yoga pants in front of other people, even though that shouldn't matter to you. But if that's what's stopping you, put a yoga video from YouTube or on your phone or on the TV and try it at home. The same goes for an exercise video. Maybe you already have a treadmill or a stationary bike or an elliptical at home, but it's buried under a mountain of clothes or other items. You may laugh at that, but I've heard that one too. One of your priorities for this scenario should be to clear off that piece of equipment Start with 5 minutes, put on some music and watch your phone or TV and just start. You need to reinvent and recreate your daily routine to fit your lifestyle and your capabilities. To increase your walking routine without the equipment, you can include a walk on your lunch break at work. Take the stairs instead of the elevator or grab a friend and walk at the mall. Believe me, a little bit of movement is better than nothing. And any kind of movement that can fit into your existing routine, that's even better. If you're dealing with an injury or physical capability that prevents you from walking right now, there are so many exercises that you can do right now using resistance bands, small weights, or a can of soup in your hand. And yes, soup cans. There are so many options for being active without having to buy all the equipment or going to the gym. One thing I want you to remember: progress is better than perfection. Adding more activity into your daily routine doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to have all those ducks lined up in order to start. I want you to take out a piece of paper or a journal and answer a few questions. The first one: what are your top 2 or 3 excuses that you hear yourself saying? I want you to recognize what you're saying to yourself when it comes to making time for your health in your day. Number 2, I want you to write out one thing you want to change in your daily routine that would involve putting you on your priority list. What will you do, and what part of your day will you include this activity? And lastly, think about and write down: what are the consequences to my health if I didn't make any change? If you continue to tell yourself the excuse that you don't have time or you're too busy, how would your health look like if nothing changed? I hope this episode has helped you crack some of those common excuses we all tell ourselves. And if you're struggling with dealing with doing all the things in your daily routine and making time, not making time for your health, or even making your health a priority in your daily life, I have great news for you. You don't have to leave your health on the back burner anymore. You don't have to keep saying yes to everyone. I just opened up some spots for my new 4-week personalized training program, How Extraordinary Busy Women Master Their Health and Happiness. Does not fitting into your favorite pair of jeans frustrate you? I know it does for me. And when was the last time you went out with your friends, your girlfriends, even for a coffee, without thinking about ways to cancel because you have so many other things that have to be done? Probably a very long time ago. But with the right tips, tricks, tools, and strategies, you can take back control of your health on your terms. If you're ready to take your health to the next level and create outrageous happiness and a healthy lifestyle on your terms, head over to the description of this episode for the link with all the details to my new program. This personalized program is the guide for taking control of your health, to minimizing stress and overwhelm in your daily routine, and to creating outrageous health and happiness, even on your busiest days. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll be talking to you soon.